of the Madurai Draviam Seminar Hindu College, Tirunelveli, Tamil Nadu. Myself, Dr. J. Gopinathan, Organizing Secretary of this event. Welcome you all for this workshop entitled Design Thinking, Critical Thinking and Innovation Design. Now I request Dr. J. Gopinathan sir, Principal in charge, the Madurai Draviam Seminar Hindu College, to formally welcome the gathering.
Good afternoon to everyone. I am Dasami, Principal in charge. The college committee members. And behalf of our college members, workshop on design thinking, innovation design, organized by Innovation Council and Innovation Internal Quality. I welcome our resource person, Dr. Gopinathan, Associate Research Scientist, Ecoworld Company Limited, formerly at Seoul National University of Korea. We are grateful to him for accepting our invitation and becoming a resource person of this workshop in this tight schedule. It is very nice topic. We say about design thinking, non-iterative teams to understand user challenge assumptions, redefine problems, create solutions to product. Critical thinking is the analysis of available facts, evidence, observations to form a judgment. Innovative design is a process of identifying, fitting, and understanding needs of our audience. This talk will be design students. It is a moment of extreme pleasure to welcome our IIC Organizing Committee members, Dr. A. Subramanian, Principal, President, IIC. Dr. K. Balasubramanian, Vice President, IIC. Dr. P. Velmani, Convener, IIC. And Dr. D. Silambarasan, NIF Coordinator, Organizing Secretary. Then I warm welcome to all our IIC coordinators who are great support for this workshop. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Hello.
He has a vast research experience of 13 years on 3D bioprinting and published more than 32 international publications and 5 book chapters. He is also a peer reviewer in 12 reputed journals and has completed national and international projects up to 10 numbers. And he has wide collaborations around the world, Australia, Saudi Arabia. Right, with this brief note, now I ask the resource person, Dr. J. Gopinathan, to start the presentation. Sir, please start.
Yeah, good afternoon. So, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, very clear. It's very clear.
Yeah, my video is coming, right? Clear?
Yes, PowerPoint is visible.
Yeah, now I have shared the screen.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir, visible. You can continue.
Okay. So good afternoon to everyone. So thank you for inviting for this presentation. So it's like very heartwarming to talk about designs and things, ideas, innovation to our students. Students from Madurai Thiruvayam, Sai Manohar College, Tirunelveli. So today I'll be talking about design thinking, which is like general design thinking and how to make a product from your idea, and then what are the different steps involved in making it in a actual product. So, and how we are going to relate 3D printing technology with this current design, and so as developing prototypes. Prototype means a model product before an actual product. So how we are going to deal with these different terms and technologies to have whatever idea that we have, how we are going to make it as a product. So that will be our total content of this talk. So if you see in detail more about the contents of the talk today, why we need innovative products. So I'll be talking about why we need innovation, why we don't need like old products, whatever it is available, why we need new things. So, and how we are going to solve the problems what are currently existing, and to give a new solution to make a new product, and how to improve our thinking to innovate more new products, and also what are the steps that are involved in design thinking. When you are about to design a product, what are the steps that you are going to do? So once you are designed the whole design or idea or product, whatever it is there, what are the checklists that are needed? And these are the basic things, general things about problem solving and design thinking like that. So how we are going to relate it with the 3D printing technology? So if you know about 3D printing technology, what are the different applications of 3D printing technology? What are the new technologies that are available in 3D printing, and how it can be applied in different fields? So as I know, this talk is like many other students, many department people may be watching this. So I am keeping it in general, but later I will go in specific and I will explain in more detail. So with this, I will first start with why we need innovative products. So if we see the history, US based NASA has spent millions of dollars in producing zero gravity plane, but Russians, they just used pencils for creating, for writing whatever they want that in the space. So you may think like, okay, pencil is the simplest thing. So why can't they use pencils? Why they need zero gravity pen in the space? So if you feel like pencils are good and the zero gravity pen is not needed, then you are wrong. Actually, pencil is made up of like graphite. So inside the black color one is actually graphite. So when you are writing, it may break and it may shatter. But the whole space, if you see the astronauts who are traveling to space, they'll be inside a confined space where it will be having high oxygen content. And even a small graphite dust may affect them in a different way. And also pencil, which has a wooden thing. So it also has some serious fire hazard along with the oxygen content in the spaceship. Apart from that, the tiny particles can even enter inside the humans, that means the astronauts, and it can be left life-threatening one. Apart from these minor things, even graphite is like conductive material. So the conductive materials can go and touch on other things, and it can even lead to some circuiting, other things like that, short circuiting like this. So using a pencil is not a proper way to use it inside the space. So ultimately you need an innovative product, that is a zero gravity pen, to address that problem. What is the problem? In space you don't have gravity, so if you write using a normal pen, you cannot write it. So you need some other innovative product to use it in the space. So that's where the new innovation comes. So if you think with old like set of ideas only pencil can be used, then you cannot go to the next level. So in order to go to the next level, you have to train yourself to think about the new products and what are the existing issues or problems that are already available in the pre-existing conditions or pre-existing products. So in the same example I'm showing, you see, you may think that it's just a zero gravity pin, but inside there are inside, if you see, the technology has many things. So inside they have nitrogen gas, which is highly pressurized condition, and then they have a different ink, which is not a normal ink, which we use in other pigs. These are thixotropic inks. That means a particular property where if you give pressure, it will become like a thin fluid like thing, or else it will stay like a solid. That kind of different properties there. Apart from that, they have also used some peculiar material. The material is tungsten carbide based, where it can seal without air inlet. So this kind of innovative thinking comes when you are familiar with the existing product as well as the issues that are the problems or challenges. You should be familiar with all these things before developing any product, or before thinking about any design, or before thinking about any other like solution for a particular problem. So problem is important, but at the same time you should have very good knowledge about the pre-existing models or pre-existing products or pre-existing theories, basics about what you are going to work like that. So if you see this example, USA spent billions, but Russians initially they were using pencil, but people were laughing at them. Even still, this joke is on the internet, so you can easily see. But that is not actually the truth. They have this Fisher, Paul C. Fisher, who actually found this pen, have patented it, and he started selling it to NASA. Apart from that, even Russians started using the same pen. So that is the importance of innovation. If you innovate something which is really useful for everyone, then it will be properly recognized and it will have a good value. If you have patented, then you will also have monetary benefit. So this is the importance of having innovative thinking. So this example I showed to before going into talk. So this will give you some idea why you need a different level of thinking to get some new designs and new products. So before going into a particular product, developing a product, or designing something new, you should know the problems that are, what are the issues that are currently available, or what are the issues that, even for example, they use the term user friendly. So if it is not user friendly, the particular product, if it is not user friendly, if it has some particular errors, problems, then you have to know what is the problem, what needs to be exactly fixed in the product. So for example, if you take a mobile, previously we don't have the touch screen, it had only the buttons. So it was difficult to like type as well as to do many things. So we cannot have those kind of zooming options and other things. But later it evolved. So what the customer needs, then the company will add those kind of things. After solving those issues, they will create some new innovative products and add it, test it, and then they will try to fix it. So this is how first you have to identify the problem before developing something. And then if you have found the problem, so you have to find what is the reason behind the problem. For example, you are getting fever. So you cannot take medicine for the symptoms. You have to take the medicine for the actual causing agent. So you will get fever because of many reasons. You may get infected with the bacteria or virus or something. So you have to take antibiotics to kill the actual root cause. So like that, if you have some problem, you have to find what is the root cause, why it is causing. For example, if your phone charger is not charging properly and the pin is breaking very often, then there is some problem with the size of the pins or size of the chargers. So then in the later models, they change it to in the like five pin type to a C type model. So that's slightly bigger and it will have better option for connection. So it will have less chance of breaking or other problems. So like that, you have to find the root cause and then you have to find the solution for that one. So whether a single solution will be sufficient for a particular problem? No. So if you are challenged by a problem, you have to try to find out multiple options, multiple solutions. It's not like only one solution you should find. You have to have multiple solutions so that any one among that you will feel like it will be the opt one. So whichever is you feel that is opt one, that you have to further develop. You cannot directly develop a product from that. that stage. You have to further fine tune it. You have to get multiple ideas from different peoples, as well as you have to be like keep your mind open. You may get a solution from unusual places or unusual people. You may be discussing something with your parents or your relatives or friends. Suddenly they may give you some idea which is relevant to this. So you have to be always keep it open. You don't constrain yourself to think in a particular way, like this idea will work only in this area, this only will work in this area, like that. Don't constrain yourself. You may get solution from a different people, different sources, different places, like that. So these are the some steps. So apart from that, when you are finding the solution, you have to be like realistic. What is called realistic? Whether that will be technically viable, whether whatever that idea or product or solution, whatever you are trying to get, whether it will be scalable in a big size, or what are the resources. For example, if you are developing a phone, for example, you take a mobile phone, what are the resources you need? You need a battery, you need chipsets, you need display, then you need some keyboard or software, like that. You need different resources, whether you are accessible for all the resources, whether you can get everything in place when you are making something, a prototype or something. And what are the risk factors? For example, the same example, if you take, if you connect a battery to the phone, whether it will blast. If you give excess current, excess charging, whether it will break. If you drop the phone, whether it will crack. So those kind of things, risk assessment also you have to do when you are finding a solution for a particular problem. Apart from that, some, for example, you are trying to innovate some product. So how many people will get benefit from that product? That is also very important. So for example, if you are developing some product, if it is only applicable for very less number of people, then that may not have much effect or much market value in the current scenario. So the product value and the benefit, it goes to the people, it should be like broader range. So then it will have high impact and you will have more value for the product. And you can also produce those things in a bulk quantity, so that it can be easily sold and easily distributed to all for the benefits of the people. So once you are trying out finding out the solution, whether it will be measured in a proper way, how much quality, how much resolution, or how much like for example, even if you are taking a dress made for example, if you are taking some other example, for example, a watch. If you are taking a watch, how you will measure whether it is running in a proper way, whether without a battery, like with the minimal battery effort, whether it is running for how many months, and how long it can work, whether it has alarm facility, whether it has like smartwatch options. Those kind of measured solutions or measured things also is important to qualify and to check your solutions. So, and the next step is plan and implementation of your solution. So for example, you are trying to find out a new method. So then you have finalized, so you have got some idea, you have proposed idea is proper. So then you have to plan how am I going to test this? How am I going to implement these ideas into a normal scenario? And who all will be involved? What are the things I need when I am going to do this the first step, when I am going to do the second, to get the final prototype or final product. So those kind of plan is very, very important. So you have to spend more time on planning before implementing like any design, any thinking, whatever you do. Your plan should be proper before execution. So, and finally you have made a product. So not a product, or even design, whatever you have designed. So how will you measure your success? So you have done like from the problem solving to a plan implementation you have done. So after that, how will you measure? So what are the goals that you have initially set? So what product you wanted, or who are the target audience or target customers, or what are the objectives that you set initially, how much budget initially you planned, and after your execution, how much you exhausted, or whether it is you have finished the project within that, or whether your project, whatever you planned, completed successfully, this will evaluate yourself or not. Apart from that, you have to observe the like situation and identify needs and opportunities. This means, so for example, in our current situation, what is the need? You may not be developing something which is needed like 20 years back. So you should think about the future and the current situation. So for example, currently the world is suffered due to the COVID situation. So if you are trying to find something which is relevant to COVID-19 or detection, or you can have some killing abilities, so those kind of novel products, if you are producing, then it will be applicable to the current situation as well as in the future. So those, you have to understand that, and you have to plan your actual product or actual design in that way, and you have to think in that way. So, and one more thing is, so if you are designing something, you should not only think about the product that you are going to have, like only about the design. So the product should be round shape or spherical shape, like that, not in a shape wise or design wise alone. It should be like, you should be like a critical enough to uh, actually justify, and you have to actually uh, judge your products itself or design by yourself, by acting as a separate judge. So if you are making some product, you should think it in a customer point of view. So whether, whatever the mobile, for example, if you are creating a mobile phone, as a customer point of view, whether it is cheap, whether it is lifelong you can use it, whether how long it can be used, how long it can charge, those kind of different things you should think in a critical point of view. Not like it's like your product. So most of the time we try to defend ourselves that this product is good, so this product has this kind of opportunity. No, you have to critically evaluate yourself so that your product will get refined and it will become a much more better one. So if we see different apps or different products, they will have some feedback things. So why they are asking for feedback? If you give a proper feedback, then they can refine their product and give you a proper like solution for the problems that you are facing. So those kind of things are very important in solving different problems. So these are the steps in solving the problems. So next is, so this quote I always say, like, search for better ways to do things and you will find success. Don't go in the normal way of thinking. So people will normally have a proper like normal way of thinking where they try to find solution for a particular problem in the normal way. Like for example, if you want to change pH, people add pH means it's in the chemistry, people add pH. For adding pH they will for adjusting the pH they will add HCl or NaOH. That is the common practice. But if you want to use some other method, if you want to have some other technology where you want to reduce the time in addition, or you want to have some other new technology where you can immediately set the pH. So those kind of different way of thinking you should have. Don't go by the normal thinking or normal way. And you may face like in your home, in your with your relatives, you may see like many commonly available problems. For example, people will be carrying people will be carrying their vegetables from the markets, the same bags, same kind of way, same kind of like cycles or scooters for a long time. But instead, people in outside countries, they may start using a trolley, a stylish trolley with some bags, with some extra racks, so that you can just take your vegetables and keep it in those different racks, and then just carry like a suitcase. So those kind of simple solutions can solve common problems. So don't think always like it should be like innovative. So I want to design something with some motor, with some different kind of technology, sensor, Wi-Fi. No, actually, whatever that you are trying to solve, it should, most of the time you should keep it as simple as possible. And you should also have a like make it as a habit. Whatever you do, if you are doing a homework, if you are doing your assignment, if you are doing some other like presentation, you should make it as a habit that you are smart enough to do in a different way. Whatever you do, you try to do it in a different way, think in a different angle, like that. But whatever you think or whatever you try to find a solutions for different problems, never lose your common sense. We say there is a one common story. They say one actual one father was sleeping with a son inside a forest. Okay, they were actually inside a tent. So after they started sleeping, midnight, the dad, actually the father, woke up and he asked the son. The son is actually a graduate from a college and he has very good degrees. He has very good marks. And his father asked, see, at midnight, he asked his son, can you see the stars, moon? Like from directly we can see the stars, moon, like that. He asked him, and the son started replying, oh yeah, the stars are super, the moon is visible, blah blah blah. He started talking about the space. He talked about many things, but his father interrupted and told, after reading or after studying so much things, you lost your common sense, because we lost our tent. That's why we could see the stars or moon. So those kind of small things